So a woman has a heart attack and she goes into the hospital. And while she's there, she goes over to the other side and she has a near-death experience. And she sees God. And she said, God, am I done? Is this it? And God said, no, you have about 30 more years. So she said, wonderful. Well, while I'm here, she said, I think I'll get a few things done. So she got a tummy tuck, she got breast augmentation, she got her chin lifted, she got a facelift, she changed the color of her hair. And so then she gets released from the hospital and she's walking across the street and the ambulance ran over and killed her right there. I mean, really, this is church. Yes, I know. So anyway, she goes there to God and she was really upset. What were you thinking? I mean, you told me. Are you kidding me? You told me I had 30 more years. And he says, oh, my dear child, I didn't recognize you. Sometimes in our lives, we would be perceived as not being recognizable. You know the times I'm talking about. When you're weary, discouraged, losing faith about your life, what you are to outpicture, what you are to imagine, there is that unrecognizable part of that memory that is fading, that is that child, that innocent child that all of us are inside, that have dreams that are so big. I love being with children because you can ask them what their dream is. They're not concerned with how it's going to happen. They're not concerned with when it's going to happen. What is it that you feel they know? They know it's going to happen. Yes? They know it's going to happen. I remember one time around this season, I had way too much I was intoxicated. And let's just call it what it was. I was high out there. And I'm driving my car and I take a road that isn't a road. I would go over this embankment and they had to haul me out of the car. When I had to go to court, my parents were there, people I knew were there. The officer said out loud to everyone there, when I addressed the woman in the car, she said she did not know who she was. And I thought to myself, out loud, that will be the last time that anybody gets to say that about me. I am a beloved child of God, and I am recognizable. I am a force to be reckoned with because I am backed by the Spirit of the living God, as are you. I am backed by an energy field that never runs weary nor never runs dry, that is always available. So today we have a faith lift. We pull some of those dreams off the shelf, we dust them off, and we say, time to stop playing around. I am recognizable. Last week it was, can you hear me now? This week it's, can you see me now? Okay? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you energized by life and by your faith? Yes. Mary Kay Ash, the founder of Mary Kay, said that God does not have interest in our ability or our inability, but our availability. Our availability. And that's the magic. That's the magic, is to make that conscious decision to be available to receive what is yours for the taking. And stop being non-authentic about so many other things, not selling yourself short. If you're selling yourself to be short, to be in a relationship, bless it and move on. It won't last anyway. Nothing lasts long term that is not eternally you in the making. Changes won't stick. things won't stay unless faith happens. In Mark 10, 51, 52, the man comes up to Jesus and Jesus goes, "What do you want me to do?" And the man says, "I want to see. I'm blind." And what did Jesus say? "It is your faith that has made you whole." You got to decide that first. Right? You decide that first. And the guy felt it before it even happened, and then he could see. That's the way I read this story. And that's the way I read the story about faith. We are required to feel it, as if it were so. We used to say, fake it till you make it. But feel that faith, that energy, as if it were so, and then you see it. Then you're no longer blind because it's right there in front of you. And Jesus was very clear. It's not me doing it. It's you doing it. We want to give it off to somebody else. Just do it for me, fix me, take care of me. But that is not the wavering way, the path of the infinite Spirit. Is to prove to ourselves that we are recognizable, that we are prosperous, that we are healthy, that we are forever young, that we love life, that we are energized by the Spirit, and that we are shining bright lights. That is the game I want to be in. Is that the game you want to be in? That kind of experience, that kind of essence. I told this story at the first of the year. It's a beautiful story about a CEO that's retiring, and he tells all his possible successors that they are to take a seed that he's giving them, and they are to take it home and plant it. And he said, "You're going to bring it back in a year. And when you come back," he said, "the person that has the boldest, bravest plant, that's going to be my new replacement." So all through the year in the office, there's the water fountain talk of how big their plant is and how it's growing, and one has flowers on it, and one has this bloom on it, and they're all excited. This one guy, Jim, it's occurring to him like, well, nothing's happening with his plant. And he tells his wife, he said, "We're coming up on a year, and we got to go in tomorrow. I don't want to take this empty pot." She said, "Jim, you got to be real, got to be authentic." So he takes this empty pot, and all these people there with these huge, sizable things, big old plants walking around. Finally, the CEO looks to the back, and he sees Jim. He said, "Jim, come on up here with your empty pot." He stands up there. He's so embarrassed because he knows that he's not getting the results everybody else did. And the CEO said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to my next CEO, Jim. Because you see, a year ago, I gave all of you boiled seeds, and boiled seeds do not grow. And all of you traded yours in for something else, living this pretense for a year. There's no other person I would rather secure this company than somebody that is really who they are. Do not trade your seed for anyone or anything else." Yes? Don't trade your seed, because the day will come around when you will see the fruit of your labor. You keep making those steps of intentionality, and there's no other way that's going to happen. But yet, you're going to wake up one day, your eyes will awaken to everything you've ever dreamed of your life, but you have to keep the dreams alive. You have to keep them with the fire behind you. Yes? A mom looks out, she sees her little cat, she sees her little boy, Johnny. I don't know where this stuff, it just comes out, you know? Get it straight, angels, get it straight. Okay, so a little boy named Johnny has his cat outside, and he's teaching his little cat church and telling it all these different things about the Bible and everything, and mom is just having a fun time. Well, in a little while, she hears the cat just kind of meowing and hissing and everything, and she looks out there. Well, Johnny's got that cat in a big old tub of water, And she goes, Johnny, what in the world are you doing? Cats don't like to be washed like that, and that cat is not happy. And Johnny said, well, the cat should have thought about that before he joined my church. So what I'm talking about is this is the church you choose to belong to. And we believe in cause and effect. We believe that there's a law that's working. And if you tell us that your law isn't working, we won't believe you. Because we know it's not working for you because you believe it doesn't work. But all of us haven't given 20, 30, and 40, and 50, and 60 years of our life over something that doesn't work. Hello? So this is the place that we believe that you can transcend your life. You can eliminate addictions. You can rise to a greater occasion of what is possible. You see, anxiety is the beginning of the end of faith. Where faith is the beginning of the end of anxiety. That's what George Muller says, and I believe him. You see that? You can feel that in your energy field. Often in classes through the years, students would say, well, how do I get faith? How do I get faith? I said, faith is not about getting. Faith is understanding that you already have it and you're already using it. It's just you're using it pointed in the wrong direction. Let me give you some examples. You see, I told you that job was going to turn out just like the rest of them, taking advantage of me, overworking me, and not paying me enough money. Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you that man that I was so smitten with a couple of months ago was going to turn out to be yet like another one, unkind and not true and take advantage of me? Didn't I tell you that? Are you seeing the faith? You seeing the faith? You with me? Didn't I tell you that my granddaughter was going to turn out just like her mom? I told you that from day one. Her mom was like that, now she's like that. Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you I could do that diet and detox and drink green juice and a lemon seed and a little bird seed for 3 months and I wouldn't lose weight? Everybody else lost weight. I didn't lose any weight. See, didn't I tell you? You see where we're going? Anybody have a moment? You don't have to raise your hand, just lift your elbow. We have faith. Be proud of the faith you've had up till now. It's been working very powerfully. And it's been working consistently. But look at the power of your life, that one presence and that one power, if you transcend it to work towards the direction that you want it to go. If you make a decision of it working towards a faith that offers you the life that you're really dreaming of, what would that be like? Breathe that in. Breathe that connection in. I know this works. I've seen it so many times, so many experiences when I would doubt. When I would doubt, when I would then be at my next church and I would doubt, I'd go, I don't think this is it. This doesn't feel right. I don't recognize me here. And lo and behold, just keep going through the steps. Keep going through the motions. Keep having faith in God. Keep believing all is possible. And whoa, here I am with you. Wow. I recognize myself with you. And I recognize you. Because we are here to do this mighty work together, yes? And we continue to expand our consciousness and live in a new reality of what is possible. Using a faith that is always working for our good, always outpicturing for the better. What you say is what is. If you're not sure about your faith, look at your life. Take time to write it down. Everything you see, you have had faith about it in some way or another. And every year I'm reminded of Sandra Kitt that was in that recovery room. She could move one knuckle, was all that woman could move in her life. Stand up, Sandra. There she goes. There she goes. She could move one knuckle, but she had the faith of a mountain. I would stand up for her if I were you. That's an amazing gift of what is possible in this life. One little knuckle was all she could move, and she has moved her life and moved ours. Believe in your heart, you'll know that no one can change the path of life that you must go. Be recognizable. Stop telling people you don't know who you are through those yada yada stories, and step into that place of who you are, to the totality of your being. The presence of the living God is in your house, in your life, in your story, if you allow it. If you allow it. I'll close with a king that brings in 2 servants. And he tells them, for the next 6 months, I want you to go out over the kingdom. And I want you to go, servant number 1, I want you to go and get all the weeds that are in the kingdom and bring them forward. And servant number 2, I want you to go out and I want you to get all the beautiful flowers that are in the kingdom and bring them back in 6 months. So here they come, carrying their loads. He says to servant number 1, well, how did it go? He said, how did it go? Are you kidding? There were so many weeds. I just couldn't believe we had that many weeds in the kingdom. They were everywhere. They were absolutely everywhere. Servant number 2 comes walking up with all the flowers. Well, how was it? How did it go for you? Well, there were flowers everywhere, and they were so beautiful. Oh, my goodness. Both servants experience what they expected to experience, and so do you. So do you. Have yourself a faith lift. Look for something different, and you will have something different. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.